Alright, time to see what's new on Steam. Let's see, let's see if No Man's Sky is out yet. It's probably not out yet, but let's see if it's out. Wait, what? 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 It's out. Must buy now! What is up, guys, and welcome to my review of No Man's Sky, probably the most hyped game so far this year. It's been hyped ever since it was it's been hyped ever since it's been announced, and a lot of people, including a lot of my friends and myself, were expecting it to be a great game. But is it really a great game? Let's look right into it. First of all, No Man's Sky was set to be a PC release. It's the same with Overwatch. Overwatch was set to be a PC platform, but it also came out on PS4 and Xbox One. PS4 being the most highly accepted of the two groups, but of course the online version is a lot better than the PS4 or the Xbox One version, due to the fact that it's a first-person shooter, and let's be honest, you have more control over where you're looking and where you're going when you're on keyboard and mouse. But anywho, back to No Man's Sky, we are looking at a PC release, so let's go ahead and look at the requirement specs. Alrighty guys, so I'm looking at the page right now. I'm going to give y'all a screenshot of the page so that you can see what I'm seeing at the same time. So I'm looking at the minimum requirements for No Man's Sky. Now, minimum requirements means that this is what you need in order to actually play the game. This doesn't mean this is what you'll get if this is how you get the best performance out of the game. This is just what you need to have in order to play the game. So let's take a look here. First, your operating system. They have all listed: Windows 7, 8.1, and 10, which means a Mac probably can't run this game. That's expected. Most games aren't made to run with Mac or Linux, but that's fine. Now we're looking at the processor. The processor is an Intel Core i3, which my computer has. My computer isn't the best computer, but that's what it has. Alrighty, so let's go back to our memory system. 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now that's a good amount of RAM, so you can tell this game is pretty hefty. So 8 gigabytes of memory is definitely expected for a game this big. Graphics card is an NVIDIA GTX 480 or AMD Radeon 7870. So that's I don't know. That's okay graphics right there. That's not like the best graphics you could probably get in a game. I mean, I have an NVIDIA GTX 480, so definitely have the graphics card for it. But again, my PC is a generation lower, so I don't know. It depends. Storage space is 10 gigabytes available space. Now that's just telling you how much space you'll need in order to download the game, so that's normal. If you don't have the space, it won't download. That's pretty simple. Now, here's the problem with the game. The game is unstable on PC. Very unstable, as a matter of fact. And what I mean by unstable, I mean it lags like hell. And I mean like hell. Now, I know I have only the minimum requirements of this game, but I will link you in the description footage of my friend Nikki's, who has a amazing PC and crushes my PC any day. He should be running this at least 60 FPS all the time, every time, no matter what. But if you look at the video, he has major drops and sometimes can't even get past 40 FPS. Now that's kind of a problem If you have a good PC and you're still getting frame drops, then there is a problem with the development team right here. The developers obviously didn't make this game as polished as it should have been, which is a major problem when you're dealing with games. You have to take games very carefully, or else if your fan base isn't able to play the game, then you basically ruin the game itself. So you have to take that in consideration, and that's a major problem when it comes to making game, is making sure that the game is playable. Secondly, while the game does lag a ton, there are major problems with the game itself. First of all, we're going to talk about the multiplayer coming up soon, and right now we are going to talk about the story itself. Half the time I didn't even know what I was doing. I just did what the tutorials told me to do, and I started progressing through the story, and I didn't even understand what the story was. So I eventually just gave up hope and just started mining a bunch of things and selling them and getting a new ship. And that's where I am right now. And the game says to explore the galaxy, and I guess that's what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know how this game works, and that's a major problem right there. When you don't know how the game works, that's when you have a major problem. Like if you have a story-driven game and it doesn't even tell you what to do, that's a major problem. You need to make sure that what you have to do to progress the story is definitely explained, or else people are going to get confused and they're just going to put down the game, ask for a refund, and just quit on the game. Next, we are going to be talking about the multiplayer. Now, a lot of people have been speculating about what the multiplayer is going to be. It also has been told that Sean has also said that the multiplayer is so dense, and basically the universe of No Man's Sky, sorry for my stutter, but the universe of No Man's Sky is gigantic, and the possibility of someone running into someone is next to none. Okay, that's pretty hefty. And that's what got a lot of people hyped for this game, is that the universe was so big you could basically find anything. But here's the problem. Multiplayer does not exist, to an extent. Now there is some multiplayer that does exist out there, but actual player versus player, or player with player gameplay does not exist. Never has, and probably never will. Do you want a reason? There is a very good reason on how. There was a thread on Reddit. I can't find the thread right now, but if you have seen the thread on Reddit, you could probably find it by searching up No Man's Sky multiplayer. But for some reason I can't find it. Just search on Reddit, No Man's Sky, no multiplayer, or something like that, and you'll possibly find a thread. Now, what this thread said was that the thread creator user, basically said to this. He said that he ran the game through like a little test simulator, where he ran the game and the actual program picks up on all networking traffic that emulates from that game. And what he found was that No Man's Sky generated no network connection or feedback coming from No Man's Sky. There was none. There was no network traffic whatsoever, which it basically just tells you right then and there that multiplayer does not exist. Can it be activated? Yes, it can. But what multiplayer is in No Man's Sky is basically sharing your discoveries. It doesn't tell you anything else. It just shares your discoveries, like what you name things, or what animals you found, or all that. But the odds of finding someone in No Man's Sky are 0%. You cannot. It is impossible, because there is no multiplayer. Sorry. But that's basically what multiplayer is sharing your discoveries on No Man's Sky. But is that truly worth multiplayer right there? No. That is not worth that is not classified as multiplayer. That is just classified as sharing, game sharing, which isn't really good enough to be called multiplayer. So right then and there, Hello Studios lied saying that this game was multiplayer. It is clearly not multiplayer. But hang on, we need to talk about one last thing. Now, while No Man's Sky is definitely not the game that everyone expected it to turn out to be, No Man's Sky is not the worst game out there. There have been far worse games out there, and No Man's Sky is definitely not the worst game out there. No Man's Sky is what I would consider as an unfinished product. It just hasn't been completed and needs time to be completed. Once the game is completed, furnished, and finally completed and probably added a multiplayer function, then No Man's Sky would actually be a good game, and I think it would turn out to be the game that everyone expects it to be, only through that. Now, while No Man's Sky is a bad game, I do actually get some enjoyment out of it. I do still like playing No Man's Sky, and I do think that No Man's Sky is still worth your time just a little bit. Steam has a built-in refund machine, so that as long as you don't play more than 2 hours of gameplay, you can refund your game and get it back for the same amount of money, and that will solve the problem right there. But that's just my opinion. So thank you all so much for watching. This is just going to be a short little run through of the game right now. I'm just going to show you Nikki's video on this, just to show you what I'm talking about when it comes to No Man's Sky. You might enjoy No Man's Sky. Definitely go check it out. You probably will enjoy it. But if you are going to get No Man's Sky and you have a PS4, definitely recommend you get it for the PS4. I never thought I'd say that in my lifetime, but definitely get it for the PS4, as it runs better on the PS4 rather than the PC version. It turned out that Hello Studios wanted to make it PS4 exclusive near the end of the release. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but hey, the PS4 version is a lot better. So definitely, if you have a PS4 already, go ahead and get it for PS4. You'll probably have a better time there, but keep receipt handy just in case you don't like the game. But anyway, my review for this is basically mixed. You guys decide in the comments whether it's good or bad. Remember, I'm not trying to start a war here. I'm just giving y'all what to expect from No Man's Sky. It's a hard to run game on PC, but it's surprisingly well stable on the PS4. So my verdict on No Man's Sky, mixed. PC being unstable, could be stable if tweaked, and PS4, okay, it's just fine. If they added multiplayer, it would be even better. So be sure to base your opinions on yourself. You're just stating your opinion, and don't start wars debating on what's better, what's worst. Just remember, this is all just one opinion, and any comments that are hateful will be deleted. Just to be clear, everybody has their own opinion, and mine is that the PC version is just unstable and could be better, but otherwise it's a fun game. It's a fun little survival game if there was multiplayer, and just stable altogether and easier to run. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this little review of No Man's Sky, please give it a like and subscribe today for more videos done by me, and share this video with a friend, just so that we can reach the 2,500 subscribers, the new milestone for this week. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I'm going to try and get this video out just as soon as possible. But in case I don't, I apologize, but thank you all so much for watching. Peace out and stay awesome. Farewell, my loyal subjects.